What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Low Life Motherfucking Chopper Podcast.
What's up, you shrimps? I don't know if I used that one before. We're back. And we're better than ever before. We get better every week. We're like a fine wine. We age like a fine wine.
I don't know about that.
The show gets better every week.
Yeah, the show gets better for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely getting worse. I'm slowly dying.
I'm aging like a fucking grape.
Dude, when I was in like third grade, I fucking left a whole vine of grapes in my desk like all year. And at the last day, I like pulled it out and it was a vine full of raisins.
Did you eat them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Hey, listen, real quick before we kick this off. Temperature check for all the guys that have been worried about me lately. We're at a smooth 85 today. Feeling good. I almost feel like I could put a hoodie on. Matter of fact.
Yeah, all these, all our Florida boys, and I think we have a few people over in Nigeria. They were writing in, talking shit. Like, they're like 101, pussy. I'm just kidding. They weren't writing in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll fucking kill you.
We're going down to Sarasota.
We're going to fucking Nigeria.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got the 3 S's.
We got the 3 S's. That's shows, sponsors, and shout-outs. Let's start with the shows. Let's do it in chronological order.
The only show that matters.
Real fast.
The only one that matters at this point, all right? The fucking Low Life Lowdown is June 8th. How many days away are we right now? If today was Friday, how many days away are we? We're about a week out.
Today's Friday, yeah. We're 8 days away.
We're 8 days away from the Low Life Lowdown, June 8th. Chopper Show, 232 Caleb Highway, Epping, New Hampshire. We got a barbecue food truck. All the beer and liqueur your fucking tummy can handle. Live music from Spoke and Throttle Band from 1 to 4 p.m. We have a bunch of raffles, more raffles than last year. And listen, if you still want to kick something in the raffle, more the merrier. All the proceeds of the raffle go to Operation Purpose. Perry himself is riding from the Carolinas, so you have zero excuse not to show up. All proceeds to the raffle, like I said, go to Operation Purpose to help fund the magic that fucking Perry is doing over there. It is a chopper and motorcycle show. Listen, if your chopper ain't ready, I know you still want to ride a fucking bike and come to the Lowdown. You can, because we have a trophy for best club style. Say you got a badass Dyna, bring it, bruh. You might win a fucking trophy. We have biker games. Your boy Rhino, this guy, bink, up here in the corner. He just built a hot dog
Glizzy Guzzler.
Yeah, the Glizzy Guzzler 5000. He just built that. We're gonna have the famous hot dog eating game where you got the chick or your best buddy on the back that stands up and tries to get that glizzy in their mouth. We have
extra points if you don't chew.
Yeah, extra points if you just swallow it like a seagull. We have the board balance game where you ride the bike across the 2x6. We have the slow race. And for you guys that have the Super E, you're going to be in trouble, because if there's any guys that are running the CV, you're getting smoked in the Kickstart race. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you get down there. Again, June 8th, Epping, New Hampshire, 232 Caleb Highway. The Low Life Lowdown is going to be amazing.
Clearing your throat at the same time. Next up, next month, we got
real quick. I started saying before, if you still want to get a raffle in, you can bring it day of show if you want. If you want to vend, but you're like, I gotta see the weather, you can still buy in the vend day of show. Bring your shit. If you're trying to vend, it's $30 at the door to vend. You can set up. There's plenty of room for vendors. The spot is huge. Just shoot us a message so we know that you're coming that day to vend, and we'll make sure you get set up. Everybody else, $10 at
even
the
if
door.
you're a maybe.
Yeah, even if you're a maybe.
If you want to vend, just be like, yo, I might be vending, but if it's gonna be raining like a bastard, I won't be. I ain't gonna hate on that.
Nah, not at all. Everybody else is $10 at the door. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed for spending $10 for a day of amazing activities.
Yes. Next up, we got Worcester Bike Week. Worcester Bike Week. That's in Worcester, Massachusetts, spelled exactly like that brown sauce that everybody likes. Pronounced Worcester. That's going to be July 13th, 11 to 6. That's 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Don't be showing up at 11 o'clock at night and partying at Ralph Steiner till 6 a.m. You will get arrested. and if you've ever been to Worcester, that's where the freaks come out.
You might
That's
not
where
get
the freaks come out. Yeah, you definitely won't get arrested, but you might get Hep C.
Yeah,
but
definitely get that.
It's an entire bike week. All right, it's like imagine Laconia Bike Week or Sturgis or Daytona, and they take all the fun and they condense it down into 7 hours. That's what Worcester Bike Week is.
Picture it
We're
like
gonna
this.
be there sweating it out.
Picture Low Life Lowdown and just like a little bit less cool. And boom, there you go.
Yeah. It's like a tamer version of the Lowdown. JK Easy Co. After that, see, we got June covered. You know what you're doing in July. What are we going to be doing in August? You're going to be going to the Blackthorn Resort in East Durham, New York to attend the 10th annual Deadbeat Retreat. August 9th through 11th. Early August. It's historically been at the end of August, like the last week in August, but they're coming in hot. They're coming in early. August 9th through the 11th. We will be there with bells on.
Real quick, at this show, I hinted at this last week. Jerry and I have been talking to Gnarly Magazine. They're doing a yearly subscription. So they've tasked Jerry and I to go and find one show for the year. Find somebody that is really fucking pushing that fabrication envelope. And once we decide who that is, you're going to win a trophy for best fabrication. You're going to get published in that yearly magazine from Gnarly. You're going to get a gift from Lowbrow Customs. You're going to get a gift from Aero Manufacturing, a gift from Steel City Blacksmithing, a gift from Maltese Machine Co., a gift from Ricky Bongos. And, of course, like I said, you get in that yearly subscription of Gnarly. It's going to be fucking sick. So if you're a fab guy, you built some cool fucking shit on your bike, make sure you're at Deadbeat Retreat, because it's going to be worth it, motherfucker.
Shit. So that was the secret announcement from last week.
That was the secret announcement. Make sure you're following.
It was secret to me.
Make sure you're following Jerry at 812 Inc. That way you can get
I thought we were a package deal.
Make sure you're following Gnarly Magazine in case they post any details. And as always, follow Low Life Chopper Podcast for any details. But the part with you is, I was going to talk to you off air about this, but since you want to bring it up, the winner's going to get his own episode on the Low Life Chopper Podcast.
Oh, shit.
We're going to talk about it. We're talking about you winning all this free shit and being put in Gnarly Magazine, which is, by the way, one of my favorite magazines because they focus on the builder. They focus on the artist. One of the only magazines that highlight pinstripers. You know, I love that.
Shout outs. I'm going to give a big old shout out to our boy.
Nothing. Hate everybody.
Chopper Fisher. Maddie.
Oh, shit.
We went riding. That boy
the
showed up on
hero.
time. Yeah. He is fucking dude, he's surgical with that camera, dude.
Dude.
He's on the bike, one-handed. His camera, it's not like a little disposable. It's
hold
got
on,
lenses,
not even
dude.
one-handed. This motherfucker rides yellow line. He crosses his left arm across his body to control the throttle, and then is snapping pictures sideways off the bike with his right hand. And he's not. You would think that he would just be snap, and just hoping to get good shots. Nah, not this boy. He's putting his eye up to the fucking camera while we're doing 55 down a back road, making sure he gets the perfect fucking shots.
50, bro. On the way back from that ride, we were going. He said 75, 80, and he was taking pictures not only with his camera, but with his Game Boy, a Game Boy with a camera. And dude,
Hey, listen,
he sent some of those shots, and they were fucking insane.
This is a reminder. Thank your local photographer because they are the unseen heroes at every gathering, every show, every party. You never see them in pictures because they're the ones fucking taking them. They never get cool shots of their bike while they're riding because they're the one taking the fucking pictures. So thank your local photographer. Let him know you appreciate him making you look like a fucking rock star.
Sweet. All right.
I had to jump into that one with you.
Yeah, that's all right. So let's get into this motherfucking interview. We are very excited about this. We've been waiting all month with bated breath. We wanted to talk.
Bated breath.
We had baited, dude. Our breath is baited. We met at La Espada show. Our, I guess, vendor mate next door is Matt from Torque Motorcycle Co. Welcome to the show, Matt.
What's going on, guys?
We're just chilling. So, as we understand, this is your first podcast. So we're popping Matt's podcast cherry.
Yes,
How does
sir.
it feel? How does it feel? Are you comfortable?
It's good. I'm comfortable because you guys are cool, chill dudes, so it makes it easier.
Perfect.
You know, it's not some corporate setting.
Yeah. We do things, we like to fly by the seat of our pants here, so
yeah,
things get a little messy. But so we've been talking about you for weeks, and actually, you're last week we did a podcast with your bud. He was also at the La Espada show, Bonneville Bill.
Yep.
Who's also from so you're out of New Jersey. Where are you out of in New Jersey?
So our warehouse is in Lodi, New Jersey. I live in Mahwah, which is like 20 to 30 minutes north. It's on the border of New York. And then Bill, that you were saying, he lives in Paramus, which is like 1 town over or 2 towns over from Lodi. I actually grew up with him, as a matter of fact.
So you grew up in Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay. You speak such good English, though.
What can I say?
I mean, I just picture dudes from New Jersey because I guess I've only seen like the fucking Sopranos and shit. So it's like,
the Gabagool guys.
Yeah,
dude, I've been watching The Sopranos at work now for like 3 weeks. I'm on the last episode and I'm devastated.
Hell on, don't spoil it for me because I've never seen it. But did you watch it when it first came out?
Sopranos?
I've tried so many times, but
no,
that
this
first
is my first
season
time.
is
This
so
is my
bad.
first time. This is my first time ever watching it. I'm good for like doing shit like that. Like
Okay.
The Walking Dead, I didn't watch it for like 5 years until after it wasn't cool anymore. And then I was like, oh, let me check that out.
And then you just binge it all. Yeah.
And then I binged it. So I've been binging Sopranos at work, and I feel like I know everything about Jersey now.
Well,
Right.
we'll see. You ask
Yeah.
and I'll tell.
What is gabagool?
It's some sort of like Italian meat. Yeah, something like that.
Like one of those cold cuts or something?
Yeah. Like you ever see like a charcuterie board?
Yeah.
Like that kind of. I could be wrong though, you know, even though I am.
I think you're
Italian.
right. It sounds like it. They
Yeah.
always have those Italian names. All right, so Matt, you grew up in New Jersey. How'd you get into bikes?
Honestly, it was just cliche story. Just my dad had us growing up. We used to go upstate every year in the Catskills. And and he just put us on like little 50 cc's, 80 cc's, and we would just be riding like on like the grass and dirt roads up there, and obviously it just stuck from, I don't know, I was probably around 5 or 6. And then it evolved into Harleys.
Dude, that's wild. Your dad put you on a little dirt bike when you were 5?
Yeah, well, obviously we started on like bicycles. His method was just kind of put us on and push us down a hill. So that way, you know, you got momentum and you have no choice but to either balance or eat shit. And it seemed to work. And then obviously from bicycles, it went to, you know, going upstate New York and riding little dirt bikes and stuff.
No
And then
shit.
obviously ATVs and little go-karts and all sorts of motorized things.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like, I have 5-year-olds and I'm like, dude, they would not
Dominic
survive
and-
a dirt bike ride.
Dominic and Dylan got their first dirt bike. I think Dominic was 4 and Dylan was 3.
Did you put
and I got
training
my-
wheels on it?
No, I got him an XR70 too.
All right,
Jesus
step
Christ,
up
dude.
from the 50.
Yeah. So my other question too. This is one thing that I've learned about Jersey, not from The Sopranos, but from Jerry, is do you call it a pork roll or do you call it tailored ham?
So if I were to order it, I don't order that, but I would say pork roll. Apparently, oh no, I'm sorry. I would say Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. Apparently, pork roll is a South Jersey thing.
What is it?
Okay.
It's
Dude,
like
I don't even know how to
I guess
explain it.
Canadian bacon.
It's fucking. Hold on.
Is it just Canadian bacon on a bun?
Hold
Well,
on.
Typically, people would say like Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on a plain bagel or whatever kind of bagel.
Hey, look. This is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like thin.
Oh, okay.
It's
it's
like
ham.
It
thin
comes
cut
like
ham.
it comes in like a log.
In
And
a
it's like a
circle.
breakfast. It's like a breakfast sandwich.
So
Well,
Jerry,
the bagel, you would do it on a bagel with egg and cheese, and then
Yeah.
that obviously makes it.
so Jerry
It
made
kind
it
of
for
looks
me
like a
one time.
Pac-Man face.
Jerry made it for me one
got,
time.
like,
and
the
you
little
just, like,
cutout.
Oh,
fry
they just
it
cut it
up.
like halfway. Yeah.
Dude, it's so fucking good. It's real fucking good.
Yeah, I'm typically a bacon, egg, and cheeser guy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the ham, man.
Yeah, I like it
This
crispy.
doesn't really taste like ham, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste anything like ham.
What's different about it?
I don't really know how to describe it, to be honest. I'll just get some and I'll cook it for you next time we're at a show. I'll bring some to Deadbeat.
Yeah, well, let's go to Cheap Thrills. And then I'll order a pork roll and you order a Taylor ham and see who
Yeah,
gets
you can't order it like that.
stabbed the fuck up.
It depends on where you're at, I guess.
They'll know what you're talking about. Wait, is
They might
Taylor,
beat
though,
your
that's
ass,
like
though.
the brand name?
Yeah.
It's like Taylor Swift?
Taylor ham. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's the brand name. It's just what it's called.
Oh, Taylor
yeah.
ham is a type of ham.
But it's called
Yeah,
John
I
Taylor.
don't-
It's called John Taylor's pork roll.
That's the origins.
Did he invent it?
I don't know. That's just what it says on the packet. It says John Taylor.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to have to try it now. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer before we started talking about food on this podcast. I mean, we always end up defaulting to hot dogs, but here we are. 20 minutes in, we're already talking about ham. All right, so you and your siblings. What do you got? You got brothers, sisters? How many kids do your parents have?
I'm actually one of 7.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, not very common these days. I got 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
That's fucking awesome. And where are you on that?
Number 5. I'm one of
Number
the
5.
younger end of the
Holy shit.
spectrum.
Dude, that's rough. If I was a younger man, I would have definitely started a bigger family. Like if I started popping out kids when I was in my 20s, I'd probably have like 7 or 8 because they're so much fun. But yeah, that is odd for definitely someone from your generation to have that many children. It's usually like only child, maybe one, maybe two. It's actually
Yeah,
kind of weird to have 4 or 5.
yeah, it's not as common. My dad's a little more, well, yeah, more so my dad, a little more of the old school. He grew up actually very close to where the last Betta show was, Melrose, Mass.
Oh, okay.
So he's like more that, old school Boston kind of guy.
Melrose,
So
no shit.
yeah.
Um, that's awesome, dude. That must have been a fuck ton of fun to like have 7 crazy kids running around in the Catskills on motorized vehicles.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, we were a little bit spread out because the age range is pretty large. It goes from my oldest sister is 40, I believe. I can't even keep track. And my youngest brother just turned 20. So there's a 20-year gap in between all the siblings.
Dude. Yeah, that's tough on your mom, dude.
I mean, I guess it would be a little easier than if everyone was close in age and,
You're
it
just
kind of let her
popping that,
spread out over time.
Yeah. But still, little kids are hard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they ever get easy, but like, that's 20 years of rearing children,
Yeah. Yeah, she's a seasoned vet. That's for sure.
That's crazy. So, like, your oldest sister is like leaving the house and they have a brand new baby.
Yeah, it was '04 when he was born, so crazy to think that's 20 years already. Yeah, she was probably just about getting out of the house around then.
No shit.
Fuck.
So you started off just kind of like tooling around, family trips out in the Catskills. Did you get in like seriously into dirt bikes, or did you kind of pivot towards like street bikes?
No, I was never like a competition type guy. Honestly, we just did it for fun. We would go up there every year and we'd ride. Sometimes we'd ride out in the street, like in our neighborhood. But we weren't any like crazy, like dirt bike crazed family. Like we just enjoyed riding it and just having a good time.
Yeah. So in your adult life, when did you start ride? Like, what did you get into? Like motorcycles? Were you like cafe racer dude? Did you like fucking dynas? Like, would you start gravitating towards?
Yeah, it was 2017 when I first got on a Harley. My brother, if he hears this podcast, I'm sure he'll appreciate this. Um, he pushed the shit out of me to get into Harleys. And I wasn't really like thinking about Harleys. Like I was just like, yeah, maybe I'd get a bike one day. And then he was just like pushing me. And one day he brought me to the dealership, and you know how those salesmen are. They swindle you.
Oh,
The next
yeah.
thing I knew, I had a Harley. So the answer is I went straight into Harleys. And typical Iron 883 first starter bike with the short shots and all the stuff on it. And then that evolved into by the time I evolved into it, it was now the Softail line.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
no Dynabro era for me.
So what's your bike you're at? What's your main squeeze bike these days?
Right now I'm actually sitting next to it. It's my Street Bob FXBB. It's the 2021.
Nice. I
Sheesh.
was looking at that.
I had
fucking bike.
Yeah, it's a
almost
nice
bought
ride.
one.
For me, it just fits. It's definitely a nice ride. It just fits me. Like I know a lot of guys have the Lowrider S. But I don't know. I bought the Street Bob in 2019 actually, and then I lost that one in a flood. And then
Fuck.
yeah, that was pretty wild. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So after insurance, they gave me the full retail price plus accessories back. So I just went and got the 2021.
Oh damn. What was that? The fucking Sandy one? The hurricane or something?
No, that was back in 2012 when Sandy happened. Jersey did get pretty lit up from that. this was 2021 actually when this flood happened. It was Hurricane Ida. It was in September of 2021.
Okay.
So our warehouse is actually right next to a river, and typically it doesn't flood like too terribly. Like the town the warehouse is in does flood often, but it's never like what happened that day. That day there was a high cresting of the river, and then there was just a crazy bad like rain for like over 24 hours, just heavy rain. And funny story, I was actually living at my warehouse for a few months at the moment, and I woke up that morning to a phone call saying to look outside, and my bike was parked right outside the garage bay door of the warehouse, and it was just 3 feet underwater. The warehouse was up. It was on like it's a dock. It's not like flat ground. So luckily there was no water in the warehouse, but surrounding the entire building was like 3+ feet of water.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Oh, dude, that sucks. I mean,
I wasn't mad because
yeah,
my bike got replaced and I got a brand new
got
one. So
insured. Yeah,
it kind of worked out actually, but
I gotta
yeah,
start insuring my bikes.
yeah, full coverage. I mean, yeah, not everyone wants to get it, but it's worth it because shit happens, you know.
Yeah, I would cry if I looked outside and I was like, my bike was under 3 feet of water, because I'd be like, oh, that's gone forever.
Yeah, that's done. And even if it does run, you don't really like trust it after that because it can get corroded and all weird after that, the electrical system.
yeah.
So
Yeah. No shit, dude. So, what is, I guess, when did you start Torque? What is like Torque's mission? How did that concept, how did you go from like 2017 getting your first like Harley to starting a motorcycle company?
yeah, so I'll give you like a very brief, quick history of right before Torque and then what started Torque. So I don't know if you guys are into hockey at all, but right before I started Torque, I had for 4 years I was working on it, a hockey brand called Glory. Um, and I was because I was really into hockey out of high school, and I was working on that for 4 years, and I was really young when I started it, and I could just never really like gain full traction in that industry. And then obviously I was always into motorcycles. So as I started to phase out of the Glory hockey company, um, I always told myself to pick something that I actually enjoy to go into. And the next thing was motorcycles. So, yeah, Torque the idea of it started in September of 2018. And then I launched it in January 2019.
Are you
Um,
I for the hockey thing? Because I know your boy Bonneville Bill, he was sporting a Boston cap. Are
yep,
you a Bruins guy or are you a Devils guy?
I'm a Devils guy. I was a bit of a chameleon during my Glory, like the Glory brand days, because we actually had a couple NHL guys wearing our like clothing and stuff, but they never like endorsed us. It wasn't like that. So some of them were the Bruins. So I was a Bruins fan just for that reason, but I grew up being a Devils fan for sure.
What kind of hockey stuff were you making? Like pads and shit like that?
It started as clothing, and then it got slowly into like you said, padding, which was like the gloves, and then sticks.
How the fuck do you get that to a professional player?
Dude, it was like jumping through flaming hoops with like spikes around them. Um, First you have to have enough capital to even like be able to pay these players to use your stuff because they pretty much won't use your stuff unless they're getting paid. Um, and then the next thing is for it to be used in the NHL, you have to get it approved by the NHL. And then to have your logo showing on the sticks or the gloves, you have to pay the NHL. At the time, it was like $100,000 per category a year just for your name to be on it, which was
Holy
pretty wild.
shit.
Yeah, and at the time, I had maybe less than $1,000 to my name. So like I was barely had 2 pennies to rub together when I even had that company. So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a very monopolized market. If I were to say, there's a lot of the bigger brands that dominate it, like Bauer and CCM, and they'll always dominate it. So
Shit. Yeah, that's fucking almost insurmountable odds. Like, is that like, I mean, did you anticipate that going in? Were you like, this is going to cost a lot of fucking money to get this stuff into the NHL?
No. When I started it, I honestly just started it almost for fun as like a clothing brand, and then like I don't know, I guess a little bit of like some weird inspiration came in. I was like, you know what, like I found a resource to like have sticks made, and then like I just went from one thing to another and just kept trying to get it out there. I looked at Glory like doing that. It was kind of like me going to college, which I didn't actually go to college. Um, it was like going to college because I learned a lot of stuff. I had some fun. I lost a ton of money, and it led me to the next stage in my career, I guess you can say. Not I guess. It led me to my next career move.
Yeah, so when were you like, I guess, what was that moment like where you're like, I'm leaving this thing that I poured my heart and soul into behind and I'm pivoting and I'm going to this new thing? Like when was it like at the same time you're like, I'm done with this, I'm going over here, or was there a period of time where you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do?
No, it was pretty I was pretty clear after 4 years of like just not gaining traction. I definitely knew that I had to move on. But I didn't want to like give up the Glory brand either. So it was actually a transition period. When I started Torque, I was still doing the Glory brand. And I thought maybe I could just do it on the side just for fun and whatever. And then like once I fully just gained traction with Torque, I didn't fully gain traction. I started gaining traction and just seeing like more like results with my effort compared to like in the Glory brand. I had to exert like 400% of myself to get next to no results. And the Torque era, like I could put 100% of myself in and see way more results, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized, like, you know what, maybe I should just put Glory to rest once and for all, which was probably around like late spring of 2019. I just said fuck it and I got rid of it. And
So you started Torque in January and then you sunsetted Glory like in the spring. So there's an overlap there. We had like two things going on.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So I brought her behind the barn and said the goodbyes.
No shit, dude.
I don't regret it at all. I'm happy with everything works out, so I'm happy with it.
Well, that's the I mean, coming into this conversation, actually talking to you at La Espada and stuff, it's like I didn't even know about the hockey thing, and it's like, well, that's you're an entrepreneur, like you have that character trait, like not everybody has that, where you can be like, I'm really passionate about this, and you put your heart and soul into it, and then you're able to move on from like a business standpoint and be like, all right, I'm gonna pivot and do something different, and not give up. Which is, it's not a quality that a lot of people have. I certainly don't have it. Like I couldn't push my shit into I mean, you got NHL players fucking wearing your gear and shit. But the thing about Torque too that I wanted to ask is, like, when you went and you launched Torque, what was your vision for that? Because you do a whole bunch of stuff, right? So you do t-shirts, you do like clothing stuff, but you also do gear. Did you always know that you were going to do you start with like just like t-shirts and merchandise and stuff and then expand it from there, or how do you start? How do you start a plan like that?
Yeah, so to be perfectly honest, I never really went in with some big business plan structure or anything. I just always knew that I could never work for somebody else. That was my biggest thing. Like whether I'm making 50 grand a year or $1 million a year. I can only work for myself. I just can't. I can't do it any other way. Which is, other people they can, and that's totally fine. I don't operate that way. Whenever I've worked for some other people, I just find myself very unhappy, very anxious. I just don't feel in control of my own life. But some people like the structure. They like that and they like the security of it, which is totally fine. I'm not the type of person to sit here and say like, oh, fuck your 9 to 5 job, be a business owner. Whatever suits you is fine. For me, owning a business is what was the most suitable. So yeah, when I started Torque, I had a screen printing background. So I just started simple with t-shirts. I really was into the graphic tees, just stuff that I can wear around and that I liked. And then kind of like back to the glory thing, it just like evolved into like one thing to another. So like every year I get into something new with Torque, or I'll test something and see if it works. And then, continuously move forward, or don't move forward if that item doesn't work out. So yeah, Torque, the first year it started as just t-shirts, and then obviously hats and things like that, embroidered flannels, stuff that I can get from like a supplier immediately that wasn't like custom made, kind of like run-of-the-mill type stuff. And then obviously t-shirts you can put your own graphics on though. So yeah, the first year consisted of a lot of that. It was very basic stuff. And then the second year, 2020, 2020 was my second year. That was a weird year because that was the COVID year. I got lucky. I got right in before COVID. Forget where I started to pivot that year. That year, later in the year, I got more into the saddlebags and gloves. I remember one of the first glove suppliers I had was Watson gloves. They're out of Canada. Because some of like the early inspirations for like designs and things like that were brands like you remember Lords of Gastown?
Yeah.
They were an early inspiration. And I saw that they worked with Watson gloves, and I started getting stuff made there. And then I actually ran into a guy who did a lot of custom cut and sew local to me. So I was able to have him start making like all sorts of stuff that I liked. Which the first big thing I got into after just t-shirts and like your regular casual wear was vests. Custom cut and sew vests. So I would give him a pattern. I would give him a vest sample, and then we would modify the pattern from there because he would make his own patterns, or we would make our own patterns. And then we would just pick all sorts of different materials to implement into it. And that was like a big thing for a little while. And then the next thing he got me into was saddlebags, like the throw-over saddlebags. And then 2021 was a very odd year for me because I started getting into like bigger manufacturing. And we actually tried out footwear for a little bit. That was an interesting time. We actually sold a lot of footwear, but there was no longevity in it because there wasn't enough profit for sustainability. And then 2022, what was 2022 our big thing? I guess we just dove really big into the saddlebags in 2022, as well as 23. And then 24 has been a really interesting time because this is where we're starting to broaden our audiences more. We got into, like you guys talked about, the armored hoodies, the sissy bar backpacks, and then as well as the throw-over saddlebags. And
Dude,
then obviously
those hoodies,
your regular lifestyle wear.
Those hoodies, by the way, are fucking sick. And here's the reason I like them is
man.
I've never been like a fan of like the armored stuff because you can see the armored shit. You know what I mean? Like you look like a Ninja Turtle. You got like the weird thing on your back and your shoulders look huge. In that hoodie, dude, it just looks like you're rocking a hoodie.
Yep. I was the same way. I was really not into the armored stuff. I always thought it was kind of like a little goofy. Or just like a little bit, I don't know. just wasn't my thing. And then once I was introduced to this from our manufacturing unit, I was like, wow, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's wild how
and
like
I only
low
put out stuff that
profile
I
you
like.
got it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely a nice piece. Because that's what most guys wear when they're riding. They throw on a hoodie and it gives you that little bit of peace of mind knowing you have protection. So it's I think it's something good for us. You know, it broadens our audiences and it'll allow us to grow even more.
So how did the
Well, that hoodie
idea for
too,
the
I mean,
backpack come?
What's that?
How did the
The
idea
idea
from
for
the
the
backpack
backpack.
come?
Yeah, that was a weird one. Sometimes something like I spent a lot of time thinking. Like throughout the day, like sometimes my girlfriend she can get a little frustrated with me because like I'll be like in the zone. Like I'm always thinking of like what's next. Naturally, like as a business guy, you have to because you need to survive. Or you also have to be innovative in the industry. So honestly, I kind of forget how that happened. I saw the idea for like a dry bag. And then I know a lot of dudes rocked backpacks on sissy bars, but they would just bungee it, right? Like they'd use bungee cords or some sort of strapping to like strap it to their sissy bar. And then I guess it just like came to my mind. I was like, there needs to just be a way where you can just slide it onto your sissy bar and then also still be able to wear it as a backpack. So pretty much I guess I just thought of the shape of a sissy bar being kind of triangular. And I was like, let's just add that shape to the back padding of a backpack with some slots and slot options to just slide it right on. I tested it out and it worked. So said, fuck it, let's run with it.
I think that's like the most. So I've had a bunch of bags for sissy bars, and it's really the only one that I've seen that gets that part right, because I hate strapping stuff down. And like I used to ride my bike into work every day, and I'd have to have a bag with like my laptop, all my shit in it. And in the morning at fucking 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to be bungee cording shit down. You just want to slide something on, and then when you get to work, you just slide it off.
Yeah.
And that's the best aspect of that bag, is that you can slide that thing on and you don't have to put a bunch of extra shit on it to keep it like down. Plus, like if you run, like I usually run king queen seats, you know what I mean? Yep. It's hard to bungee that shit down when the seat's there. You can't wrap stuff around the sissy bar, really. You have to wrap it all the way on the outside. And anybody that uses bungee cords and shit on there, I mean, that stuff sways. It slips, it slides. You want to keep it on the sissy bar. And if you do, I mean, is there anything else that holds it onto the sissy bar? Is there like a strap that's attached to the bag?
Yep. So I actually have it right next to me because I figured it would come up in conversation. So there's actually these buckles. It's just one buckle, so it makes it you're not like having to do like 4 different things, like you said. Like it's early in the morning, you just want to like get and go. So there's just one buckle. This part goes through the top of the sissy bar, and then this part is adjustable. There's like this slide buckle. I'm not gonna try and mess around with it right now, but this is adjustable depending on the length you need. So basically, this goes through the sissy bar, and this goes over, and then you just buckle it through. It's kind of like a little like a loop. I don't know how else to explain it. Think of it like this. This is like the buckle that's on like stitched onto the bag, and this, if say this is the top of the sissy bar, it just goes through and buckles, and then like it's like that. So basically, like if this is the bag, you can't pull it off because it's So yeah, it's very simple, very straightforward, and it works. And it's full. We made sure to do a waterproof one because we know some of those guys who are going to be riding with a backpack strapped to the sissy bar. That usually means they're a little more hard, like of a hardcore rider.
Yeah.
So they go through all sorts of conditions and whatnot.
For sure. I mean, a couple of things about the bag that I really liked right as soon as I saw it was, well, it's waterproof. And like I said, if I'm riding, I ride in the rain. You know, you get caught in the rain, especially if you're riding it to work. You don't know what the fucking weather's going to turn out to be or whatever. So
Yep.
you're gonna want it to be waterproof. You don't want it to be easy on and off. And you don't want it to be so fucking big. And I
Yep.
think that's where like a lot of the like if you're going on a super long trip and you need to put tents and fucking or whatever, like you're gonna want a big bag. But even then, like when I go on camping trips and stuff, I still like a small bag. I don't bring a bunch of clothes. I'm wearing what I'm riding, pretty much. And then you have a hoodie or something. So you still want to be able to pack light because it sucks to ride around with a huge fucking bag on the back. You know, it throws
Yeah.
the weight
not
off
for
and all that
nothing,
shit.
too. That's
it
one of
feels
my
like an
biggest
anchor.
things. That's one of the reasons I like your bag is what Rhino's saying is the size is fucking perfect. I had another bag before, and it was a dry bag, super fucking nice. I loved everything about the bag except for how big it was, because when I would put shit in it, it was big enough where on my sporty chop with a 6 over that has some lean to it, when I got off the bike, my bike would fall the fuck over if I had the bag
Because
strapped
all
to
that
the back
weight.
of it. Yeah. So it was just too
Oh,
fucking
God.
big. And it looks ridiculous from
Yeah.
behind because it's sticking out 6 inches on either side of my bike because I build narrow bikes. So that was always my biggest thing is like, if you want a dry bag, they're always big. And then the second biggest thing for me was how easy it is, like Rhino was saying, to strap it on. Like it's literally fucking nothing. It slides over, one buckle on top, you're fucking good to go. But I think the most important part is the fucking straps on the back. How easy it is to go from a sissy bar bag to just throw it on your back like a backpack, and now you're fucking good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Arizona Bike Week, I brought my camera with me when we were out on some rides. And my saddlebags were full, so I put my camera in the backpack. And, you know, naturally the camera's pretty expensive. So, like, that's not something I want to leave with my bike. So I was able to strap it up as a backpack and just carry it around.
Yeah. My big thing is like beer runs and stuff. Like, can it hold?
Oh, you could easily
I'm
fit a
assuming
12
it looks
pack in that.
big enough for a 12 pack, but I'm thinking it could probably even do an 18 pack.
Oh yeah, sideways.
And if you take them out, if you take them out of like the case, the beers, you could probably stuff. Honestly, not even just saying it because it's my product. You could probably almost get like a 30 pack in this thing. I mean, it might be a little dense at that point, but yeah, I mean, it's
guarantee
enough.
you could probably fit 60 beers in that fucking thing. If you took them out of the box, you could put a bunch of beers in that thing.
Hey, whatever you need for the night.
We're gonna do a test. We're gonna see how many beers we can fit in there.
Yeah.
I'll have to get one up to you guys so you can do that test for us.
Yeah. Dude, that thing's sweet. I have 2 of the Biltwell ones. Right? I got the big one. I forget what that one's called. And then I have the smaller one that's the backpack. I think it's the 158 or whatever. I've been using that one for years and I really love it. But it's almost too much bag for me. You know, it has like the front pockets and stuff like that. This one is
compartments.
Yeah, in the front. And for a daily thing, it would be good to have just something you could stuff, like a sweatshirt, you know, like if you're going to ride with your friends or whatever and you're going pretty far, hoodie, you know, like some fucking, you know, whatever in there, just like stuff a bag full, slide it on, clip it on, because it's going to take me 20 minutes to kick over my shovel head. So it's nice to not have to spend a bunch of time packing. But it's a good option. I want to say that's really innovative. I haven't seen that with the sissy bar, like the elastic thing where you can just slide it on. And I think that's the key, because you strap it from the top with that little clip. And you need that so it won't fall off. But that thing kind of keeps it from sliding side to side.
Yeah, especially if you tighten it good, it keeps it like pretty in place. And listen, if guys want to get real serious about it too, like by all means, they can bring extra bungees and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it provides a pretty easy on and off for the everyday rider.
Yeah. So what's I guess what do you guys, what's like your best-selling product? What's like your big seller? Like what do you guys specialize in?
So we call it a hero product. our three hero products right now are the Sissy Bar backpack, our throwover saddlebags, and the armored hoodie. Just because we were in this throwover saddlebags before these two, the other two, those are our leading product. But we are doing a little bit of redevelopment of it. We're just trying to make it more, a little more durable, a little more fade resistant, and just overall just making it easier to use. So we took a little, in the last few months, we took a little bit of a step back from promoting the throwover bags until we get it completely dialed where we want it. With that being said, I'd say that next up is the armored hoodie. Just because that's a little bit more, I don't want to say generic, but it's a little bit more like every type of rider can wear that. So naturally, you're gonna hit more people. And then the Sissy Bar backpack is actually, it probably comes third in that out of the three. But it is very popular, and we're seeing more and more traction with it every day.
And it's a super good price point for what it is. Like you don't get to see you don't see those Sissy Bar bags. What is it, 150-ish?
Yeah, 150, and then like first time buyers they get like 10% off.
That's a really great deal for a fucking Sissy Bar bag like that. Because usually you're in the $200 range, you know.
Yeah, especially with the functions that it has. I mean, we try to keep it like, not too cheap, but not too expensive either. Where it's like where people look at it and they're like, no, like I can't do that.
Yeah, you can get that shit on Amazon if you want the cheapest fucking Sissy Bar backpack. I'm sure you can find one on Amazon for $49.99.
Yeah, we get the comments all day long on our ads and stuff. They're like, "Oh, I can just do that bag for $30 or whatever." And I'm like, if that's what you want to do, that's
fine.
Go
for it, bud.
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't bother me. I was like, if that's in your budget, then that's fine. If you want something that's, pretty universal and versatile, then check ours out. It's all depends on what their taste is and their needs.
Yeah. That's awesome. So the the throwover saddlebags, are those leather, or are they made out of like a composite, or what do those look like?
Yeah, so it's called a ballistic nylon.
Okay.
It's kind of like that, like military tactical type material.
Mm-hmm.
Something like you'd see on like a military backpack. And that's what I think makes them popular, is they're not like your classic leather, which leather's fine too. But there's definitely a big demand for like a non-leather bag too.
Yeah, no tassels unless you put some of that ballistic composite, whatever tassels, make a whole new genre of throwover bags. I want a set of throwover bags for the shovel. Just if I'm going for like an overnight or something like that, it would be helpful to be able to throw over on top of the Sissy Bar. You know what I mean? If you have your camp gear, like typically I'm a tent camper, so I'll do tent. I have the little blow up pad, and that takes up quite a lot of real estate in a bag. So it would be nice to have some saddlebags for some beers and some shit, Even
your regular items.
Yeah.
And it's easy too. They're on and off. You just unbolt the seat, and it's pretty much it.
So, how many people work at Torque right now? Is it just you and your girlfriend, or do you guys have like people on the payroll?
Yeah. So it's funny. People either think we're like massive, like the size of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a huge company in the industry. Like some people think we're like either the size of like Vance and Hines, or people think we're like doing it out of the basement. It's like there's no like ever in the middle. So it currently on the day to day, it is just me and my girlfriend. We're kind of workhorses. We're very particular about the way things get done and making sure things get done right. So currently it's me and her. Earlier in the year, we had a couple kids working for us, and they did a good job, but we ran into a couple things where we needed to just kind of do it ourselves for a little bit. And then, once we have like full stock and everything's just kind of like ready to go off the shelves, which most of the time it is, but like I'm talking like fully stocked for like months on end where we don't really have to worry about like shipments coming in and having to get unpacked and then situated in the warehouse and things like that.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of like tricky things right now that it's something that kind of we have to handle. But so on the day to day, yes, it is me and her, but we do have our marketing team. They work remotely. We have a woman who stitches a lot of our tags and patches on, like on my hat here. She works from home. We have a lot of that stuff shipped to her, and then she has like her industrial sewing machine setups, and she does a great job. So she works from home. She's an independent. Our marketing team, and then we do some screen printing in house if we're testing like a new design. And then we also have a screen printer that we work with. He's also an independent. So we keep it pretty compact and pretty low fat operation.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and give a shout out to your marketing team because as soon as I followed you on Instagram, all I see is Torque ads.
Yeah.
That's all I see now.
Pretty much anyone we encounter that knows anything about us, they instantly say that.
Really?
Yeah. Like we had a pop-up a few weeks ago at our warehouse, and I think almost 99% of the people who came in were like, yeah, like I can't stop seeing your ads.
Oh yeah, relentless. But they're good, and you star in them.
Yeah, as of recent, I just started getting into them, kind of being more of the face on it.
So you're an entrepreneur and an actor.
Oh god. Yeah.
What do you so you have a warehouse. What's like the majority of your day? So like are you doing just whatever needs to be done? Do you stick to like the research and development stuff, or are you just like packing orders?
So pretty much all the above. I wear probably way too many hats. Like I do feel a little bit of burnout sometimes. But my girlfriend, she handles a lot of the customer service. I kind of have to be a part of it. She's the buffer. So like she'll get the emails. So in case we get a guy who's pissed off that his package is like 2 days late or something, and they're cursing us out. At least she sees it and she's not as emotionally attached to it as I am. She can kind of buffer it and then be like, hey, like this guy just wants an update instead of me reading, where the fuck is my package? Fuck you guys.
Yeah. You need a layer, between you.
Yeah, just to like ease it a little bit before it gets to me.
I'm working my balls off here, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, we're trying.
We're not Amazon.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd say most of our customers are really like patient. Depending on the situation, like sometimes we'll have a back order or it'll say like ships at a later date. Some people can get kind of nasty, but most of our customers are actually extremely understanding and they're very reasonable. So back to the day to day, it's customer service. It is packing orders, purchasing shipping, purchasing materials like packing materials. Staying on top of inventory is probably one of the more like stressful parts because you don't want to be overselling things and then you're in a situation where you don't have product that you sold, and we also don't want to be underselling things. If stuff's on our shelves and it says 0 on the website, like that's not good either. So making sure to stay on top of inventory, and then like you said, research and development. Actually, as a matter of fact, today Bonneville Bill, he stopped by the warehouse with his 12-foot long stinky pinky, and we're working on a swing arm bag for hardtails.
Oh fuck!
So we did a little R&D today. Actually, we used some cardboard for tracing and did a little arts and crafts.
Oh, high tech.
Yeah.
High tech cardboard. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very what's the word? We're very unorthodox when it comes to stuff like that. We don't do like tech packs and all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
We literally just took cardboard and we traced the area of the the swing arm area on a hardtail. And with cardboard, we just cut it out and taped it together and literally drew on with Sharpie like all the details we want.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of the fancier companies would be working in like CAD and all those crazy different types of files.
But I think
But
that's
I don't
why
know. For me, it's simple.
I think that's why your bag is such a hit in the chopper community right now, is because like you're actually out there like looking at a chopper and you're like, okay, this should be like this. This is gonna work better if it's like this.
Yep.
Those other guys are doing it in CAD. You know what I mean? So yeah, on the screen it looks great, but when it comes to real fucking life, it doesn't work that well.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big difference. Is like, there's people making shit. Like, there's no shortage of like lifestyle, like motorcycle lifestyle companies out there. You know what I mean? But like once you get into the functional game, like anybody can make a T-shirt and design some art or whatever. But the functional thing, that's where the fucking rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Like if you put out a bag that doesn't work, you ain't selling a whole lot of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's awesome, dude. And then just like cardboard cutouts, your buddy comes over, and that's something I'm really interested in is hardtail throwover bags.
Yeah.
That's super functional. That's something that you can, you don't have to have it on at the show, but if you're going for a long ride or whatever, or even overnight, it's like that would be a nice to have.
Yeah. The hardtail guys, I've seen a few people tag us on Instagram or Facebook where they get it under there, but it's a little different because of the way the seat is on the fender. There's not a lot of rise. So you're kind of, you got to make sure they're set up a little more particular. But yeah, I mean, people make stuff work. Sometimes I forget that a lot of guys in the motorcycle industry, they're pretty handy and they're pretty like crafty. So like, even if it's not designed specifically for their bike, like they make it work somehow.
Yeah.
Like we've seen dudes like cut up the overstraps of our bags. I'm looking at them on my bike right now. They'll like cut up the overstrap and like add their own zippers and add extra extensions or whatever they need. So, but for the most part, we try to make it where people don't need to modify the bags. They could just put them right on.
Are there any talks of tool rolls?
Actually, Billy brought that up today. It's a
boy,
possibility.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
It's a possibility.
I have one tool roll that I've been using for a long time. I forget who the fuck makes it. But that's the last good tool roll I've seen. And for guys that are on choppers that suck, a tool roll is huge. So to like have a tool roll that can fit the wrenches you need, the screwdrivers and Allen wrenches and fucking all that bullshit is huge. And especially with if you could build one that, whether you have the bag or not, you can strap it to the front forks, or if you have the bag, it can clip onto the top of the bag. That would be fucking sick.
Yeah, it's something. It's definitely something we could think about. We try to. My biggest thing is I try to work on like one thing at a time. Currently, we're getting really big into the armored hoodie, so like we're trying to dial that in a lot, especially on the marketing end. And then once we get comfortable and we see things are flowing there, then we can move on to like another project.
No, it makes sense. You gotta make the money to be able to move on to new stuff to spend money on.
Exactly. Yeah.
What about armored pants?
So it's funny you say that. We just started getting some samples made. So we're working on like it's gonna be like a canvasy, like denim-y looking material.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna be like your standard like blue jeans. It's gonna be like kind of like a Carhartt pants type texture.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so they got a little grit to them.
Yeah. You know what I love about armored pants and armored hoodies and stuff? It makes you look buff. It's like you have built-in muscles. Yeah. So I'm a fat guy, but I put on some armored pants, dude. I'm like Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger, dude.
Ryder wants you to make him a hoodie that has protectors that look like a six-pack.
A six-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, to protect my stomach when I get in a crash.
built-in armored abs.
Yeah. Yeah, even I don't even care if it actually protects me. Just make it look. Just make a muscle shirt.
Yeah, just make me look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a muscle T-shirt.
That's funny.
No shit. So the other thing I was gonna say was so you, I mean, relatively, you're a young company, right? So 2019, you launched in January, which must have fucking sucked for a motorcycle company.
Oh.
Or was it like, or am I wrong about that? Is that
No,
like,
you're right about that.
Okay.
Hey, people forget
Yeah,
they have
it
motorcycles
was,
in the winter.
Yeah, they just stick them in the garage and they worry about whatever the hell else in the winter. But yeah, it was definitely a tough month. I think our first month, and mind you, it was also in the second half of the month. So I think we did like, forget what it was. It was maybe like $300 in sales that month, like the first month. And I was stoked. To me, that was like, that's sick, you know? Because I was a no name brand, and I still don't even think of ourselves as like a huge brand yet. But yeah, like it was weird too because our strategy in the beginning was a lot of shout outs on like just various motorcycle pages. So like through that we were getting orders like right off the bat across the world. Like France was one of the very first orders.
Oh shit.
Which was very weird. And then I think another one
for
was
Indiana?
the other one was like the Netherlands or something in that area. And the first one was one of my best friends. Well, still one of my best friends growing up. At 6 a.m, he was the first order when I launched.
Oh,
So,
fuck yeah.
Shout out to you, Joe.
Joe, good boy, good friend.
Yeah, good man.
So yeah, that's fucked. So international shipping right off the bat. How do you handle for international shipping? I guess, like, does your website have like a built-in calculator for everywhere in the world, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
No shit.
It's just based on weight and dimensions to a certain extent, and then they just calculate the rest.
Yeah.
And we just buy the labels right through our website and print them out, and it's pretty straightforward. And then the only time you have to deal with a little bit of paperwork is when you're shipping stuff by UPS, international.
Oh, really?
Whether that's Canada or an overseas country. You like with UPS, you basically just have to sign your name and just your signature on like 3 different forms, customs forms. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but you know.
I mean, I always ship everything for our anything that we ship. I ship internationally every once in a while, and I always feel like I'm breaking the law because they're like asking all these questions. They're like, is there anything
guns
corrosive?
in here?
Yeah, like, is there any drugs in here? I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It's just a goddamn T-shirt.
Yeah, you're like, I hope a nug of my weed didn't like flake off into it by accident. The feds like show up at your door the next day.
Yeah, fucking ATF busts down, just shoots me in the face.
Actually, not to interrupt that, but funny story about like drugs and packages. So we deal with exchanges fairly often, naturally, you know. Sometimes stuff doesn't fit people. Years ago, back in 2020, a guy bought our vest and he must have been doing a little and
some nose beers.
Yeah, some nose candy. So, he must have left his little baggie in the pocket of the vest, and actually he sent it back for a repair. Like one of the pieces like just needed a new stitch line, and we do free repairs as long as we can do it. So when stuff comes back, we'll check over the whole garment. And I checked the pockets, and in the pocket was like his little empty baggie, and it still had some like remnants in it. And I was just like, oh my God. Imagine that came over from like a customs checking.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like,
this is not going back.
Yeah, I was like, I'm down. Like, I tossed it because, like, you know, usually you want to keep if there was something personal of theirs, you want to keep it in there. But that, I was like, no, I gotta toss that.
No shit.
I'm not trying to go to jail.
We'll edit this out, but That baggie was full when you got it. Did
No,
you did a
no.
little
It-
toots magoots before you sent it back? Before you threw it out? Before you disposed of the
A
evidence?
little
No,
scoops.
to be perfectly honest, I'm actually not into that. I never really got into that.
Yeah.
At
me
most,
neither.
I was like a weed guy. That was really it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
nowadays.
even off the air,
Oh, dude.
I'll say
Even
that.
nowadays, dude, I wouldn't fuck it. I don't know how these people do it. Every fucking thing has fentanyl in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I've been hearing too many stories. I don't
Yeah.
mess around.
I wouldn't even trust it. I'd have to get it from like a cocaine dispensary or something to trust it. They have
if
those in
that's even
Maine,
a
right?
thing.
They have them in Maine, right, Loctite?
Yeah, yeah. You have to go down to the ports of Jersey for that.
Oh God. Some Colombian Bam Bam.
Yeah. So what kind of shows are you guys hitting up now? Because you went to the La Espada show, but like you said, I think you said you've gone as far as like Arizona. Where? How do you decide where to go and what shows you want to hit up?
Yeah, so everything is pretty much a trial and error. So there's two ways we go about shows. We'll book it year after year as long as we see success in sales and things like that, or if it's just fun. Like for example, La Espada wasn't the biggest money making show, but because it's like an easy drive, it took us like 3.5 hours to get there, and everyone was super chill, obviously including yourselves. Like we'll go back to something like that, even if we only made a couple $100 that day or whatever it is. You know, I'm just spitballing numbers, but yeah. So if it's fun, we'll go back. Like even another one that's fun that we don't make a ton of money at is they don't do it anymore because the place got sold. Was the hill climbs in Monticello, New York. Were you guys familiar with that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was like Moto Jam Productions.
Yeah.
Those were a good time. We would always make sure to go to that. But back to your original question is, yeah, a lot of it's trial and error. Like for example, Arizona Bike Week, I probably wouldn't go back because we actually lost a lot of money. Plus, it's just a hell of a drive. It took us like 42 hours to get there. And especially when you got the bikes, 2 bikes in the back, plus the camper, I call it the mobile office. You're stopping like every couple 100 miles for gas when you should be going more like 400 miles.
Right.
So basically you're spending twice the amount in gas, and it was just a hike. Something we do go back to every year is Laconia Bike Week. Something about the people in the Northeast, they just love our stuff, and we have a really good success every year there. And then
you guys going up to Laconia this year?
yeah, we go to the Harley dealer every year, Laconia Harley Davidson.
Oh no shit.
Oh shit.
It's really nice because they have set hours. The staff's really good to you.
Is
and
it
it's
the
just
one
like
that's
right up
right
the
on
hill, right?
Weirs Beach there, right on the main drag?
Yeah, it's like right on
it's
the
like
hill.
up the road from there, yeah.
Right on
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. And then the first year we did Laconia, there was like another spot that we booked before we got like connected with people up there. It was called like the Lobster Bin or something, and it was good. We had success there, but it was a mess. It was like 7 a.m. till like 1 in the morning. So like you didn't have set
Oh,
hours.
fuck.
It was basically just like whenever people stopped showing up. Plus, it was like on like a dirt path. So like all your display stuff got really dirty, and like the bikes got filthy, and it was just like kind of a mess. And it was kind of stressful too. But the Harley dealer is nice because it's structured. It has set hours. It's on pavement, so there's no dust and dirt. And like there's
when are you going to be up? Like what days and what hours are you going to be up there for people that are going up?
So it starts on June 8th and it ends on the 16th, I believe, which is Father's
So you guys
Day.
you guys are going to be up there the entire time.
Oh yeah. We
Oh,
yeah, we pay a bit of we pay, we pay accordingly to be set up at the dealership, and so we make sure to be there the entire time.
Yeah.
Get our money's worth, and obviously it's a good time too. Just the people are just really cool up in the Northeast. So yeah, we'll be there, and I'll be there a couple days early. funny enough, I actually have I have a wedding down in Florida on the first day of Laconia Bike Week, so it's gonna kill me. Because I gotta basically go there a couple days early, get set up, get a worker set up, go back down to Jersey, fly to Florida, be there for like a day or two for the wedding, and then fly back and then drive back up.
Holy
Um,
shit!
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess, but he's one of my oldest friends, so obviously I gotta be there for him.
No shit. So you personally will be back by what, like Sunday, Monday, up at the Harley?
To be conservative, probably first thing Monday.
First thing
I'll
Monday.
be rocking and rolling, yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we got a place up there. So we're gonna be up there too. So we'll come
nice.
say what's up.
Yeah, definitely gotta stop by, guys.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. What are the do you do, I guess, the big Jersey show? The only Jersey show I know is Cheap Thrills. Have you been to that before?
Yeah, Cheap Thrills is really cool. That's another one of like the more like niche. Well, I wouldn't say niche. It's pretty well known. But it's kind of got a similar crowd to like the La Espada crowd.
Yeah.
And that one we went to it was back in 2021, I think the last one they did. And then they had this last couple years gap, 22 and 23. They didn't do
So
it.
you were at
Seaside
Seaside Heights?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh shit.
Dude, that one was awesome. It was so cool. Everyone's just like chill and
Where were you set? Were you set up like over by the racetrack where they're doing the mini bike stuff?
yeah. We were
Okay.
looking at the mini bike races.
Look, I
Yeah,
was,
they
I
were
was
up
set
there.
up there.
We
I
were
was
up
set
there.
up there
Yeah.
pinstriping.
Really?
Yeah, I was pinstriping
I mean,
in
I
that
guess we
parking
wouldn't
lot.
have,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pinstriping in that parking lot.
I guess at the time we just wouldn't have realized. Small world.
Yeah. Hey, we got our boy, another Jersey boy's coming up for the lowdown. He'll be up here. He's our hot sauce vendor. Stay Strong Co.
Stay strong, Carl. That sounds familiar.
You gotta meet up with him. I don't know where he's from in New Jersey, but he was at the Seaside Heights show, and he's coming up to Laconia, him and his girl. So you guys should definitely link up because he's one of the coolest people on planet Earth.
Yeah. You get the opportunity to introduce.
This is the most I've talked to anybody from New Jersey. Like between
What?
you and Bill and dude, I've never known anybody from New Jersey.
Jerry.
Is the stereotype? Oh yeah, I actually know Jerry. You said 812 Inc., right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him. I've met him at he was always at all the hill climbs and stuff.
Yeah.
He's got the cool van with the deck on the top.
Yeah, I was set up in front of his van pinstriping at Seaside. Jerry's like my brother.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Jerry.
Yeah,
and
he's a cool
Dusty.
guy.
I know Dusty, who puts on Cheap Thrills. I know all those guys.
Yep. Dusty's their shop actually is very close to our warehouse.
No shit.
Oh shit.
It's not called Cheap Thrills like shop or anything. I forget what was the name of it. I can't think of it. If it comes to mind, I'll obviously just shout it out. But I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on it.
Are you going to Cheap Thrills now that it's back on this year?
Yeah, so I've talked to him, and I just said, let me know whenever you guys are doing the vendor sign up or whatever they call it. I said, because we'll, as soon as they want their money, for the vendor amount, we'll send it right over because it's just a good time. Like everyone's just like likes to have fun there, and it's like a good crowd.
And that's like a home
so
show for you.
I told him, I was like, yeah, I think what town is it in this year? It's like Melville or
some it's up like some racetrack or some shit.
yeah. So anything in Jersey for us it's nice.
Yeah.
Quick drive.
Yeah. That Seaside Heights one was one of the coolest shows I've been to.
Dude, that
it was a vintage
the
motel.
Coolest
really
show
cool.
I've ever been to in my life. It was literally
Yeah.
like a fucking
That
David
party
Mann
there looked
painting,
cool.
dude. It was a David Mann painting
Yeah.
for the weekend. That's like what it felt like, dude. It was fucking
Dude,
insane.
Yeah. Because it was
Like,
like,
when
it
we
was
were
an old
sitting
timey motel,
poolside-
and I remember
When we were sitting
Oh, yeah.
poolside and there was choppers like lining the pool and there was a band on the fucking roof.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that was
Yeah.
the sickest fucking show I've ever been to in my life.
It was wicked. It was wicked fun. And like I went there with Fish Tank, and I told, they were like, "Oh, the motel sold out." So I just called up and I was like, "Hey, you guys have any vacancies on the ground floor? I'm handicapped." And they were like, "Yeah, we got one for you." Dude, it was right in front of the pool, right next to the bar.
You had the
like,
nicest room.
It has to have no steps. Yeah, dude, because I was like, we wanted to push our bikes inside at night, but we ended up just like parking them out front. But yeah, dude, that place was awesome. We had the bikes at the pool, and then we just parked them right in front of our little patio area, with the fucking lawn furniture out front, and it was right next to the bar. Oh, dude.
You show up and they're like, "So what's wrong with you?"
Oh, they don't ask any questions.
They're like, "You got a broken leg or what?"
Yeah. I was like, I'm in a wheelchair, so I can't be on the second floor.
I think I'm actually riding to Cheap Thrills this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to.
How long is that drive or that ride?
I don't know exactly where that place is. I haven't looked yet, but when I went to Seaside, I think it was like 5 hours.
It's manageable.
It's like
something
five
like
and a
that.
half,
Like
6
four.
hours.
It was like
something with traffic.
four or 5 hours. I know where Jerry lived. I don't even know what town that was, but I used to take like 4.5 hours from my house. So,
yeah, that's very doable.
yeah.
Just watch out for the Jersey drivers. There's a lot
I
of
don't want
to
to vend or anything at that show. I don't think. I think I just want to like go down there, ride, and just be a fucking complete piece of shit. I think that's my MO for that show.
Just have a good
That's my
time.
MO for every show.
Yeah.
Get drunk, get heartburn, pass out early.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to do though,
another
is
show.
I want to find a hotel that's close to there, because it's like that's just like a day show. It's not like an overnight show. I don't think. So I want to get like a hotel that's close to there and just put the word out to everybody, like, hey, book this hotel so we can have a fucking after party.
There you go. Yeah, you got to make a weekend out of it. That's a long fucking haul to just go there.
Yeah,
we're not
for
like showing
sure.
up for one day and driving home.
I thought it was a couple days. Cheap
Is
Thrills. It might be. I might be wrong, but I remember the last one. I thought it was like a day and a half.
Yeah, the last one.
Last one was
at
a
the
weekend,
hotel.
yeah.
I think we went down on Friday. Yeah, and we left on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it might be 2 days. Another good show that's coming up of a similar caliber is Indian Larry Block Party.
Oh, yeah, we did that last
We'll
year.
be at that.
Yep.
We did that last year.
Good last time there.
I was gonna see if we want to do it again this year because
Dude, it's so expensive.
it's the 20th year.
It's so expensive, but I'm so down to do it, dude. I'm so down to
There's
do
so
it.
much.
If you want to do it, I'll go pour doing
The
it.
other thing is though, we went a little bougie. You know what I mean?
What'd you get? A nice place?
No, listen,
We got a really nice place.
We could see the block party from our balcony on the 14th floor in Brooklyn.
Yeah, we packed
There was-
a bunch of dudes in there though.
There was
it was expensive for us,
at
but
the
we
door
had
when we walked
a
in.
lot of dudes in there. Yeah.
Oh, that's when you know.
Yeah, when we were walking through there, people were
But-
like clutching their purses and shit.
Stay away.
If we go there, that's the only way to
Yeah,
go. We got to
that's
stay
a
in
good
that
one.
place again.
I'm gonna get the same room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, of course you remember me from last year. Are you gonna get up to the Deadbeat Retreat this year? It's in New York, East Durham, New York. I don't know how far that is from Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to. I don't know what that all entails. If I go, I'd probably just go as like a spectator or just a rider.
So I'll tell you
I
this.
wouldn't
So
go
they
vend or
do
anything.
have vending there. But
Okay.
it's not like a thing per se. You know what I mean? Like it's not like these other shows. Like it's really like a camp out. But at this place was built for motorcycles. So like there's just like a permanent like hot leathers tent set up. So you could easily set up and just like sling merch and like but it's well worth the trip. Like, if you just want to like go have a good weekend with your old lady, like. And the cool thing about this place is, if you're not into the camping thing, you can literally rent cottages on site. You know what I mean? So it's fucking dope.
They have heart-shaped jacuzzis that are red.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the babies are made.
Yeah, well, that's where Rhino posed naked.
That's why I was telling Dan. Dan said he can't go because it's his anniversary. I go, dude, just get one of those fucking heart-shaped fucking jacuzzis. Take the old lady in there.
Yeah, I've been trying to get my old lady to go. I was like, look, Rhino brought his old lady, and she's like, no, find out another show that she's gonna go to that's not Deadbeat, because I don't want anything to do with Deadbeat. She's heard all the stories.
It's a different animal.
I know, that's why.
But it's different. It's different now. It's totally different venue. My wife's gonna go to Deadbeat, I hope, this year. We had a good time last year. It's female friendly.
Yeah.
It's so funny enough, actually, about the Blackthorn. With the Blackthorn Resort, I'm actually familiar with it because remember when I was telling you we'd go upstate every year, growing up, going on dirt bikes. We'd pass the Blackthorn every time getting to like the place we'd go every year.
Oh, no shit.
So it was always like that thing that I would like see along the way. So I'm actually very familiar with where that is.
Were they so I guess is Blackthorn in the Catskills?
Yeah.
Or is that on the way?
Outside of it, right?
Yeah, I think it's part of it. I think it's considered part of it.
Okay.
It could be for sure.
I guess.
Like, do you remember when you were going there as a children? As children, was it infested with yellow jackets
in Blackthorn or upstate in general?
Because when we went, how many? Yeah, because like everywhere we went, there was like a yellow jacket's nest. You go to Dunkin' Donuts, yellow jacket's nest is like on the door. That's how they know you're coming in. You open the door and the bees are just like.
Not that I can remember, to be honest.
Oh, so it's a new phenomenon.
It could be, yeah. I mean, obviously in the summer there's always bees floating around up there, but nothing in particular that sticks out.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking yellow jackets. And we were all the entire time. Loctite had the salt gun.
Oh my god.
It was like a genocide of fucking yellow jackets.
Yeah. Made the time pass though.
Anyways, like a shotgun for bugs.
Yeah.
aside from bugs and pest control, what can people look forward to from Torque? What are they going to see this summer? Where can they plan on catching you? What's the best place to find your gear? What set you aside from the other shit? Give us like that little rundown.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously online is like the biggest way to get our stuff. But if you are in the New Jersey, New York, PA area, even the Mass area, we welcome people to come down to our warehouse. We just try to tell people to give us a heads up if they want to come down and meet us and like check stuff out in person. Just because obviously we're doing so many different things throughout the day, like working on the company, that sometimes that's not always at the warehouse. So we want to make sure we're there for anyone that wanted to show up. But yeah, either that or at the shows. You know, we got Indian Larry. We'll be at Laconia Bike Week. We'll be at Cheap Thrills. And then pretty much what they can expect is just, you know, we're going to try and come out with a lot more colors, just so people have like cool different options. More in terms of, I guess, in terms of a little bit of everything. Like we're going to try to offer different color bar bags, different color of the backpacks, different color hoodies. And then we're trying to like get pretty good with, even honestly, just back to the basics, just more and more like graphic tees, just different stuff. And then another thing we're trying to work on is getting just more good like content out. Obviously in the day-to-day, sometimes you get a little caught up and like sometimes you lack a little bit on the creativity side of content. but definitely working on some cool YouTube stuff. Just
So,
maybe a little
do you
more
guys have a
production
YouTube
value
channel
type
now?
videos. Yeah, it's very basic though. We're not like regular YouTubers. But it would be cool to do that. But I think we need to get to that level of like the warehouse and the day-to-day operations are being ran by like a smaller team of ours.
Do you do like
So that way
product
we
reviews
can
on
kind
the
of,
YouTube
because
though?
whatever we do, yeah, we've done a little bit of that so far. I will admit though, we do need to do a better job of it. We need to just spend more time, like taking our time and just making sure it's a little more thorough.
Yeah.
So definitely, I definitely want to get out more entertaining content though. So that way, like when you click on our page or anything, it's not just all about product. You know, we want to show people like all about the lifestyle too.
Yeah.
Something
when I
I did want to
eventually-
get done this year.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just
Um,
gonna say I want to try and get on a couple more long distance rides this year.
Sick. Any destinations in mind?
Northern Maine sounds pretty cool, like that real nautical
nice.
style.
Yeah.
You know, like the
So
harbors and all
nice.
that. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you,
Hit up a
Portland
couple
is
of those cocaine dispensaries.
Yeah. Portland's a super cool town to like hang out in.
Yep.
Old Orchard Beach is super fucking cool. Really can't go wrong. If you just ride the coast up, it's fucking gorgeous.
Coast is nice, yeah.
Oh, it's probably so nice. That big nautical vibe.
Yeah. Once I end up ordering my bag, here's the predicament I'm stuck in. Is I had the Builtwell bag for a long time. Loved it. I fucking love that bag because I could hold my tools and everything in it. But it was just too fucking big. This past
Is
winter,
it a backpack or is it just a
no,
sissy
it's
bar
like their
bag?
big fucking bag. It's fucking big. It's not a backpack, that was kind of like the other thing where it's kind of pain.
I think
in
it
the
holds
ass
like
after.
200 beers. It's
Yeah.
really big.
You can put a mini keg in it. But it was great.
That's a unit.
It was great because like I could put anything in it. I never filled it up, but I could if I needed to. It just wasn't great for the style bike that I ride. So I got rid of that
For
one.
shorter
bought
trips
another
and stuff.
bag.
I mean, it has its place.
Right. I bought another bag. It's the Jailbird bag. Super sick, just like canvas bag. And it's a great fucking bag. But it's like, now that I've seen your bag, I want that bag. I just have to like convince myself that like, hey, it's okay to spend another $150 when you just spent $150 on this bag you haven't even used yet. But when I do order that Torque bag, I promise I'll send you some interesting content of me using that bag.
I was gonna say I want to see what you end up putting in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think we're all going to end up, the whole crew's going to end up in Torque bags this year.
Oh,
this
100%.
summer. Because Dan already got his. He's always the first. Me and you were a little bit more shrewd, but we're gonna get some Torque bags, and then we'll get you guys. We'll prop up that YouTube channel of yours.
Yeah,
with us doing stupid shit.
It sounds like if there's enough of you guys, we could just get you at a wholesale deal.
Hey, that's a good idea. And then we'll have Maddie shoot it all because he's a pro. He does video and pictures.
He was at La Spotter, right? He's kind of like the muscular dude,
skinny, muscular
skinny.
dude. Well, he's kind of ripped up. He's been hitting the gym pretty heavy.
Yeah, he's been hitting the gym. Yeah.
He does steroids.
Steroids. He's got some gains, dude.
Yeah, he does steroids.
I was gonna say he looks pretty jacked.
Yeah, you could tell, dude. He cut all the sleeves off all his t-shirts. I haven't seen that dude in sleeves this summer yet.
First move. Once you hit the gym for a consecutive month, no more sleeves on the shirts, bro.
You're just like, fuck these things.
Gone. Chopped right off.
To be fair, that's always been Chopper Fisher style.
True.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. We talked a little bit at the La Spotter show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So one more piece of information I want to squeak out of you before we fucking end this thing is you're kind of a younger guy. You've gone through the pain of starting a company, putting everything into it, it not working out to like what you would hope it would, just starting completely over again. Just like give like that feedback on like what it takes to be able to do that, and any kind of like advice you have to anybody like wants to, because I have the same feeling as you. It's like I fucking hate working for people. I've owned a couple businesses myself, and like that's the ultimate end goal. But what advice do you have to guys that are like, they have the idea, they have the passion, they're just like nervous to make the step?
So there's a handful of advices I can give on that. First thing I will say, and it's very generic, is you gotta be fucking crazy. Like, I'm not like some psychopath or anything, but you gotta be like crazy to your craft. Pretty much to the point where like you're obsessed with it. And you could ask anyone that knows me like from the beginning and has known me for a long time. Like, it's hard for me to not even ever talk about it because like I'm big. This is gonna sound super cliche or whatever you want to call it, but I'm big on like the law of attraction. So whatever you think about and whatever you talk about, and you just
Manifest
constantly put it out there, it manifests into what you want.
Yeah,
so as long as you just do it and you don't stop, yeah. And like I said, you gotta be a little crazy to it. So that's one thing. The next thing is you gotta be a high pain tolerance too. I mean, there's been times, even as of recent, we've made $100,000 mistakes, and most people, after like having to throw $100,000 of like defective product in the garbage, because we don't want our customers to have bad product, most people would be like, "That's it, I'm fucking done with this shit." For me, I said, you know, what would a big business guy do? They take it on the chin and you just move forward. And then the other advice I'd say is you just gotta, like, as simple as it sounds, you gotta get yourself out there. You can't just make a product and just like put it on Instagram and just like hope for it to happen. Like, yeah, we run a lot of our ads, but we also make sure to show up to everything too. We try to go to almost every single event that's humanly possible, within our abilities, because it just gets yourself out there. Otherwise, like, people just, they might just think of you as like one of those like shady dropship companies or whatever. You gotta put a face to the name. So that's another bit of advice. And then obviously, you know, having just good like support behind you helps too. You know, I was fortunate enough where my parents let me start out of the basement, rent free, until they saw the screen printing press ran the electric bill up. But you know, definitely good support helps. And another thing I'll say is, a lot of people think when you start a business, you got to go in just spending a ton of money. Like, I started Torque with literally a maxed out credit card. It was like a Best Buy credit card too. A maxed out credit card and Photoshop. I just made some mock-ups. Like, a mock-up is basically like the digital image of your product. I just made some mock-ups and some designs, and I just like put it out there, and I started like putting out feelers, and I started with literally $0. If anything, $. So like, a lot of people think like, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna get, you know, a couple hundred shirts made. I need business cards. I need this. I need that. Like, you don't need all that stuff to start. You just need to start somewhere, and then you can just progress from there. And then there's probably one other key point to anyone that like wanted to start a business, or definitely consistency too. You know, if you're not consistent with it, you lose that flame, and you just won't. You'll lose momentum quick. You know, some people, they start it and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go out and party all week," not really focus on it. Like, you got to be like balls to the wall with it from the get go. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a bunch of other things, but You just got to be crazy to it.
The one thing I've
Yeah, man,
noticed
definitely.
from starting a couple different companies is you have to go all in. And at least for me, I've noticed that if I just try to do like, oh, I'm going to like half do this until it takes off and then I'll just do that full time, it never fucking works. Because you don't have
No,
the same
that-
hustle.
yeah.
You don't have the same hustle. This is like a part-time hustle. That's what it will always be, is a part-time hustle. If you don't
Yep.
dive in and make it a full-time hustle where it's like, motherfucker, if you don't make this work, you're not paying your mortgage. You're not feeding your kids. Then it'll never fucking work because you don't have that same
Exactly.
drive.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. You got to be all in. Otherwise, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, everybody wants to work for themselves, but it's like, see how the sausage is made, you know? And one of the things that was striking to us when we first met you at that show, it's like you walked into that place and you're like, hey, how's it going? You know, like you just had that energy. And it's something like some people don't have it. You know what I mean? Like not everybody's an entrepreneur. Not everybody can take those risks. Not everybody can have a company that doesn't work out and then pivot and keep on going in a different direction, you know?
Yeah.
Not everybody's built for it. But it's like, if you are and you have that type of personality, then you can make something work. But you have to be able to like kill your babies. You know, you started off with glory,
That's
and
such
you
a
went down that
crazy
rabbit
term.
hole, and you fucking, and it's a totally different business acumen that you need too. You know what I mean? Like the way that to get into the NHL and all the fucking money and all that stuff to go to something like with motorcycles. But I think it's number one, it's about passion. Like definitely you actually have to believe and love the thing that you're doing.
Yep.
And just innovate, you know, and not take on too much, right? Because it's like it's you can't blow up. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like you were saying, you can't just throw out a cool product on Instagram and wait for the money to start rolling in and just get buy a money counter. You know what I mean? It's like you got to actually hustle.
Like that.
Yeah. So, dude,
I think
Matt, this is
I got one more thing.
This
I
has
think
been an
the
amazing interview though, because
the last thing I'll say, I think the other biggest mistake people make when starting a business is they're like, I want to work for myself, so I don't have to work so much. This is not the case. Here's the thing, and like what you were saying, it has to be a labor of love because you are going to work so much more than you do at a 9 to 5. But the difference is the reward is not that you work less. It's that all of the strides that you make when the company gets bigger, it's your company that's getting bigger. The more money that you're making for the company, the more money you're making for yourself. That's like the payoff for starting your own company is like, you're not building somebody else's life up. You're building your life up. So that's like that's probably the best advice I can give somebody is like, don't think you're going into it and getting off easy. It's just that you get the payout in the end.
Yeah. You're building your own assets. And like you said, you don't stop. Like it's way more work than a regular job. Like even if I get up in the middle of the night to take a piss, I'm literally checking my phone to see if there's like Facebook comments or, you know, whatever it is. Like there's been times where it's going to sound like insane, but like I've literally answered messages from customers in my sleep. Maybe or maybe not. I didn't know what the hell I said to them, but it's probably pretty like automated at this point as to like how I would respond. But yeah, it's a nonstop thing.
Yeah, if you want to make money and not work hard, you got to work for someone else and just quiet quit. Just do the bare minimum, show up, back up to the pay table. But if you want to make, you want to plow your own way and make something of yourself, start your own thing. Yeah, I mean, you got to eat. The most successful entrepreneurs, that's all they do. I mean, they just think business. It's all that, you know. So it's not a shortcut, but yeah, man, this has been really inspiring. This is a great show. It was, hopefully it inspired a lot of people that that are talented, that want to get out there and do something, to go and do it. If you have that business acumen, if you have that fucking drive, if you have good ideas, proof's in the pudding, baby. Go and do it.
And for those out there, you don't have to be a genius or some business guru to get into a business. Like me, like I'm a fucking idiot. Like I was a terrible student, not the brightest in the world. Like, you'd ask like some people, like I was just like a goof, and like, but if you find something you enjoy, you find something like you're passionate about, and you find something that can work and it's realistic, like, yeah, you can be passionate about like, building space rockets, but if it's not feasible to actually do it, obviously, you got to make sure to do something that's doable at the same time. So yeah, like, bottom line is you don't have to be a rocket scientist to start a business. You just got to be driven to it and very, very passionate about it.
Awesome, dude. Hey, Matt, thank you so much for coming on. By the way, I'm just going to say, I'm going to call it. Matt's going places, okay? He is going to be the next Vance and Hines, and we had him right here on our show first. So
thanks, guys.
Hang around, Matt, because we want to talk to you, but we're going to talk about some other entrepreneurs here, some other businesses that make this show possible. And I know everybody out there is like, I bet he forgot the sponsor section at the beginning. I didn't forget. I wanted to do it at the end this time. So we're talking about another entrepreneur who's full-time, who's also our May giveaway. We're pulling this motherfucker next week. Oxford Co. Choppers. Oxford Co. Choppers. Look at this. Beautiful shifter. It keeps on going in and out of focus because I got some fancy stuff going on. But look at this. This shifter is beautiful. He's going to be at the Low Life Lowdown. Come hang out with Chris. I'm going to do his ad read too. But we have another sponsor of the show that I did not forget to do at the beginning. I was just holding it back. I wanted to do it at the end. Our boy Rodney. Bump Shop Diaries. You might have seen that he has a new novella or whatever you call those little mini stories with special guest appearance by Rob, the Crazy Gentleman. Did you listen to that one, Loctite?
No, I've been so busy at work that I haven't been able to.
We'll call out tomorrow and listen to this.
Yeah, I actually can listen to it tomorrow. My wife's having surgery.
Oh fuck! That's what they're gonna put in her headphones as she goes to sleep with anesthesia.
Yeah,
just play the Bump Shop Diaries featuring Rob the Crazy Gentleman.
Yeah, but you can now request it in every doctor's office across the country.
They'll play it overhead. If you go to Bump Shop Diaries, okay? If you buy one of our camp mugs, it's camping season, boys. You can't just, you're not pouring your coffee out onto the ground and slurping it up out of the dirt. You need a vessel. So go buy one of our camp mugs. When you buy one of our camp mugs, I'm going to personally send you a code for $5 off the Hardtail Blend, whole or ground, at bumpshopdiaries.com. Go check them out. First up, we got... Now it's your turn.
Oh, all right.
Sponsors.
No Luck Paintworks in Manchester, New Hampshire, cooking up the dopest motherfucking paint jobs on the East Coast. If you want to bring your chopper to the next level, or your diner to the next level, your fucking bagger to the next level, hit up Dan at No Luck Paintworks and get on the books for this fall. Next, we got Steak Strong Co., the creator of the Sweet Heat, the shit hot sauce, the best fucking hot sauce you can put in your dirty ass mouth. And guess what? There's a collaboration with your boys at the Lowline Chopper Podcast. You're going to be able to buy the chopper sauce for the first time at the Low Life Lowdown. So make sure you're following Stay Strong Co. on Instagram. Check out staystrongco.com. Buy some fucking hot sauce. Buy some of his other crazy shit that he makes. and worship baby Jesus in his white pants. He'll be at the lowdown. Make sure you come say hello. Next, we got Deadbeat Customs, the creator of the Deadbeat Retreat, where all low lives go to die. Steve has a little bit of everything for everyone. Whether you ride a bagger, a dyna, a chopper, it does not matter. Steve has some shit for you at deadbeatcustoms.com. Use code LOWLIFE at checkout to save some motherfucking money. Next, we got Lowbrow Customs. Everything you need for the road ahead. Did I just say that for fucking Deadbeat? No, I didn't. All right. Anything you need for the road ahead. This is one of the only websites where you can build an entire fucking chopper with never leaving the website. They have everything from gas tanks to engines to frames to wheels, handlebars. They got literally everything. And Tyler supports every fucking grassroots chopper show across the country. So help repay the favor by shopping at lowbrowcustoms.com.
Next up, we got We Motor Co. We wrench, we ride. We Motor Co. Gear for riders so you can still afford to ride. Go check out. I just posted his YouTube. Go check out his YouTube. He talks about the low life, low down vest he's going to be giving away and how to size that up. Has those special little slits for your sunglasses so your greasy ass beard doesn't mar those polarized lenses. But these vests are club style vests, diamond stitching. Beautiful. We're going to be giving away one at the Low Life Lowdown. He's going to be shipping it out from Canada on his dime. So thank you. And if you just want to go ahead and buy one, they're sub $300 vests. And you can go ahead and put Low Life in that little coupon area at checkout. Get some money off. Coupons. Next up, we got Matt from Burnt Up Wood Burning, our boy. He's going to be at the Low Life Lowdown too. He's also going to be doing a raffle. He just, I think he did a couple of, choppers that he just did. Matt is a great guy. Matt is an old school cat. He doesn't use fancy computers. He doesn't use CNC, lasers, AI to create his art. You know what he uses? The mitts. And they're formidable mitts. Matt's got some big hands, boy. So I actually just, Jason, I just sent you that plaque that you won last month in the giveaway. Beautiful father and son team. Go check out their episode, Burnt Up Wood Burning. And if you have something that you want to commemorate your beautiful chopper build or your hot rod or your old lady's titties, hit up Matt and he will do it. And he will do it with love. Next up, we got our May giveaway sponsor aboard, Chris, from the slums of Oxford, Connecticut. Oxford Coach Choppers. The bad boy, the original bad boy. Hard parts for hard men. Sissy bars, handlebars, controls. Full fab. He's full time. This boy, I don't want him to return my phone calls. I want him to be so busy building custom shit for your choppers that he has no time for me. Okay? So hit him up with your ideas. I just saw that boy making some handlebars today. He's a beast on that bender, dude. Yeah. He's stainless steel, dude. He was just like, he didn't look like a big guy, but he got some power behind him. He was just like, he wasn't even breaking a sweat. And he's going to be at the Low Life Lowdown, so come up and say, what's up? Last but not least, we got Loctite's motherfucking Chop Shop.
Being located in Epping, New Hampshire, the motherfucking center of the universe. For all your pinstriping needs, hit me up, Loctite Chop Shop, on Instagram or Loctite at lowlifechopperpodcast.com. Whether you need your whole bike painted, garage signage, shit done at a show, let me know. We'll make it happen, Captain. And last but not least, Torque.
Great motorcycle bags and gear. Right on. No, I'm just kidding. Check us out for you know, we got our Sissy Bar backpacks, fully waterproof, armored hoodies, throwover saddlebags, you know, lifestyle wear, MX style gloves, anything that makes you feel good when you're riding and allows you to carry your shit around.
Fuck yeah.
I don't really know how else to put that.
Crushed it.
That's about as simple as we can. Crushed it. Last but not least,
This show.
the Low Life Chopper Podcast, the premier chopper podcast, the only chopper podcast that you can 100% reliably rely on. We're consistently reliable every Friday morning, BT dubs. Premier chopper video podcast. Go to lowlifechopperpodcast.com for all our shops and socials. You're going to want to go ahead and get yourself a camp mug. Get yourself a t-shirt. Go get yourself a fucking hat. Look at this. Boom. Low Life. So everybody knows that you're a piece of shit. Also, go check out our archive, our episodes, and information on the Low Life Lowdown. We have all our sponsors and raffles and all that hogwash over there. Go check it out. Make the money that we pay to maintain a website worth it.
Get out.
It's sissy.
That's true. And that's it.
All right, motherfucker. Loctite, take these pieces of shit into their fucking weekend. Scream in their face.
Listen, no screaming. I'm going to serenade you on this one. Listen, guys. You know your boy only cosigns the best. So if you want the best Sissy Bar bag, I'm here to tell you, you need to go to Torque. I've seen this thing. I've touched it. I've seen it in action. It's the only Sissy Bar bag for summer of 2024. Get over there.
Oh, you got fancy over there.